The Bobby Petrino story, that's one you should probably tell a little more about. That's a good
Yeah.
one. That shows you where college football is, because
Well, Bobby Petrino,
you
he was a coach. I think he was a coach South Carolina, and then he moved up to the NFL. But he decided that because the NFL coaches don't have as much power as they do as in the college level, and Arkansas offered him a position as head coach, he came down and recruited a pretty good team, and then a couple of the boys that were there came from Springdale, where Gus Malzahn was the head coach at Springdale High, and then they had a little bit of issue with. Well, no, that was still Houston Nutt when they had issue with that, and then Petrino came in. But with Petrino, the thing was that about 2 years into his coaching career at Arkansas, he had a motorcycle accident in Fayetteville. And they didn't report it to the police initially. And come to find out that he had a passenger on that motorcycle who was the girlfriend, or the fiance, I'm sorry, of the swim coach at the University of Arkansas, who Petrino had gone ahead and hired onto the staff. He hired this guy's fiance onto his football staff. And so it turns out the reason he hired her was because he was having an affair on his wife with her. And so it just kind of blew up from there. He wound up losing his position. I'm trying to think where he wound up coaching now, but their team is starting to pick up.
I think he actually originally was at Louisville, then went to Atlanta. And it's so funny because he just quit on the NFL. I think 6 weeks in, he just said, "I'm done."
Mm-hmm.
And I've never seen a coach do that before. Just "I'm out."
Yeah.
And then he went down to Western Kentucky, which is a smaller school. But then Louisville rehired him, and he's doing well. But that picture of him with his face all scraped up, and he's got a neck brace, and he's wearing all the Arkansas red gear.
Yeah.
That one's, you're going to see that one for the rest of your life, because that's just
everybody,
one of those stories. But the guy was totally disgraced, and then 5 years later, he's close to where he was before.
Yeah.
Because if you're a good coach, you pretty much can overcome just about everything.
Well, not only that, but Arkansas the very next year, the team was horrible, and it's been trying to rebuild since then. But for right up until last year, when Bielema was really starting to pick up our team here, people were still clamoring for the U of A to hire Bobby Petrino back. They didn't care about the affair that he had or anything. They just wanted the wins. That was all that the people in Arkansas cared about. And what also was funny was that there was a rumor rolling around Northwest Arkansas that the motorcycle accident was a cover, and what really happened was that the swim coach beat the hell out of him when he found out that he was messing around with the guy's fiance.
That could be possible as well. There are many depths to these kind of stories, that's for sure.
Yeah, but that year it was everybody in the state pretty much did a Hank Hill impersonation. Was like, "Damn it, Bobby!"
So you do voices too. Look at this guy.
Yeah, well, I try to. Story time for my kids gets really entertaining.
I bet it does. Yeah.
Oh, well, it looks like we're getting pretty close to time to wrap up here, because I know that it's really late on your end of the country. So why don't you go ahead and let the listeners here know what or how to find your show and how to get a hold of you if they want to ask any questions or if they just want to get in contact with you.
Well, the show is the Zachrilege Cast, and you can either go Zachrilege or think sacrilege and replace the S with a Z. That show is on YouTube. It's also on iTunes, Google Play, pretty much anywhere you can go to Podbean and find it. Try to post every week, and really it is me interviewing fellow atheist people, and I'll say occasionally awesome people as well, because a couple believers have snuck on there. But every week I'll be doing that, and it's Zachrilege, at Zachrilege on Twitter. You can look up Zachrilege Cast on Facebook. I try to post some of the podcasts I'm listening to and the occasional podcast that I guest on, and just random thoughts as well. And then Zachrilege.cast@gmail to say hi, and if you're interested in being on the show, because as someone who's on a show that people listen to it, but it's not close to one of the big ones, I just want to find interesting people to talk to. And everybody's got these stories to tell, and there are a lot of people who are non-believers who can't tell their story. I've had a few people who had to come on as avatars, not use their real name, just because there could be some fallout, and just be able to tell their story is great. And to have the opportunity to do that is a great honor. So I really enjoy doing the show, and it's a lot of fun, and once a week. And usually there's a beer or two involved. I do it a little earlier, but yeah, that's a fun aspect to it, and it encourages the other person. Some people don't drink. I'll drink for you.
Yep, and that's pretty much the motto here too. And so just so people know here, also, do you have anything like a Patreon or something where people can maybe throw some extra support your way, or is that something you haven't really considered yet?
I have, yeah, I do have. It's just patreon.com/Zachrilege, Zachrilege. So yeah, if you're interested, that would be pretty awesome. Be my new best friend. I try to get the episodes out to the Patreons a little bit early
Okay,
when I
well,
can.
well, awesome. I'm going to go ahead and close this off here. As far as for the Skeptics Brew Pub, we also have a Patreon page. It's patreon.com/Skeptics Brew Pub, and anybody that contributes to the Patreon account between now and October 22nd, any funds that are received will go to this time around to Skepticon. I do try, if I do get any patrons, I will send that money off to a worthy atheist charity or nonprofit. I don't collect any money from that for myself. If you're looking for the show, you can find us here on Spreaker every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. You could also download us on iTunes and Google Play. And if you're looking to get a hold of me, you can find me at skepticsbrewpub@gmail.com, facebook.com/beer and blasphemy, or at Brewer Adkins. And next week's show, we're going to have Lauren Undy, also known, or I think, I'm not sure how you pronounce her last name actually, but Lauren, who is also known on Facebook and YouTube as Biology Babe, and we're going to be talking about pseudoscience, how to tell whether or not a study or something you're seeing on Facebook is bunk, and probably talk a little bit about some of the controversy about the marijuana cures cancer stuff. So that might be an interesting show to tune into next week. Until then, of course, I am Brother Brewer saying, believe nothing that you hear, half of what you see, and never have a serious conversation without a 2-drink minimum. Good night, guys.